Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Cinema Surprise on the Cinementalists. It is October, baby, and we cannot wait for Halloween. We are celebrating every Friday with a horror movie, and you know my first pick of the month had to be sci-fi horror. Today we are discussing Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It was released on December 22nd, 1978. We're talking the remake, not the original from the 50s by Don Siegel. It was written for the screen by W.D. Richter and based on the novel by Jack Finney titled The Body Snatchers and directed by Philip Kaufman, a co-writer, a co-penner of the story for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Fun fact. Yes, indeed. Philip Kaufman, quite the fella for me, with that under his belt. But, yeah, I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, buddy?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
It's always a pleasure to have you. So I got to show you Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I'll go over a little bit why I picked this movie. Well, first off, I love it. I think it is one of my favorite horror movies ever, one of my favorite science fiction movies ever, and if you pair those things together and you make them one thing, it's gonna work for me, you know? I watched it for the first time about a year and a half ago, almost, in the wake of the passing of Donald Sutherland. I wanted to get something under my belt of his that I had not been witness to, because, you know, I'd watched MASH, I'd watched the Hunger Games movies, but I was like, he was such a legend. There's more there. Let me check him out. And Invasion of the Body Snatchers is where I landed that night. And damn, what a good fucking movie, man. A movie so good and a performance by Sutherland so good that I'd gotten the ending spoiled for me like a million times before watching it.
No.
Dang. Yeah.
Oh man. I guess it wouldn't have made. Oh,
it's not like it's a big build up to that payoff there. And you know, the first time I watched it, I was in denial. I was like, how the fuck did we get there? Is he faking? Oh no, he's not. He's not.
Is it crazy I'm still in denial? Maybe not really, but maybe, you know, is he that assimilated that he has to?
Could be.
Is it a
could
test?
Be. That's a pretty genuine screech coming out of his throat, though. Pretty inhuman. But yeah, obviously we're going to discuss this with spoilers for those who are tuning in. Joe, first watch of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, how'd you feel about it?
I mean, talk about the opening of the movie alone. I mean, I didn't even know what I was looking at. Like,
gorgeous.
We were on a different planet. What did they use for these white float, whatever the hell was transported? Was it underwater? Was this, like, what effect was this?
I have no idea. It was fucking awesome.
But out the gate, I was just kind of like, wait, what the fuck? Like, cinema-wise, I'm like, okay, what am I even looking at on screen? How do they do this filmmaking-wise? And then, like, the premise became kind of clear of what's going on, and I'm like, oh shit, it's just this slow cook, you know, the little, it's on the leaf, and then they take it home, it's on the nightstand, you know, and then and the build up to everything, and I didn't think it'd be freaking making dupes of bodies or whatever, you know. I didn't get that from the beginning or any of that, but no, the premise just kept getting cooler and cooler, and then the just, I don't know, kind of a Star Wars hope when all seems lost, but kind of to the maximum here, I'd say, like, even more. Like, what the fuck do you do? Like, are they the only two left at the end of the movie, or one left in the world?
In the world, yeah. No, I think what I like about this is that the ending is so grim. You know, like it's kind of daunting how, like, there wouldn't really be a way out of this because like, this is exactly how it would go. There's not really much hope for humanity if something like this were to arise.
It's fucked. That's so fucked. Like, just Saturn took a fart, you know, or one of Saturn's moons farted off a little alien virus, and then it doesn't have to be full alien Earth, you know, xenomorph style. It's just like one little plant, and then it just infects us, and GG. It was kind of cool how it was like, it used our existing transportation systems and disposal systems and authority mostly to control everything, like the fact
infrastructure, stuff that goes kind of unseen every day is getting utilized, like the garbage truck, the sanitation department being like as important to it as it was. Everything you're seeing in there is basically like the remains of people. No, dude, it's incredible. And I love a certain layer to it where the original 50s one is obviously made during the Cold War.
Ooh.
During the throes of the Cold War, and it kind of being this, you can't trust your neighbor. They're becoming someone you don't recognize. And I feel like there's kind of a universally applicable and understandable and relatable timelessness to it with the idea that, I mean, in modern America, for example, like
goes both ways, I feel like.
It absolutely goes both ways, but like there's this thing where you look at people you've loved all your life, whether they're a really good friend or, or even a family member for some, and they believe in something that you just cannot comprehend. And you're like, do I even really know who the fuck you are? And I think that that's why Invasion of the Body Snatchers is so devastating, is because like this idea that this fascistic entity that wants to strip you of what makes you, and then plug you into a system as a cog that works for their machine, where there's no love, there's no hate, there's no emotion, there's just work. Which to a lot, this is why it's fascinating, is because both ways you look at it, if you are a capitalist who hates communists and a communist who hates capitalists, both of you are looking at it and thinking it's the same fucking thing.
It's either the woke mind virus or the twist, or the what's the equivalent? Just, I don't know. Ignorant. I don't know what to call it. In a polite way. I don't know.
Right. Without being like this whole group of people that wear red hats and go to route and stuff like that.
Word that exists for that.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that and came off of a book, which is interesting. And I wonder how,
by Jack Finney. Probably I would imagine that was also a Cold War release.
But very
especially
timeless idea.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite lines in Everything Everywhere All at Once, whenever Keyquan says like nobody feels like they can trust their neighbor anymore, and we need to get back, kind of. It's really affecting. And
it was in the 50s. Yeah, it was 55.
Yep, 55. I looked at it. I was looking it up at the same time.
Yeah, man, that's crazy how like very applicable it is to the Cold War. Like, I feel like in very, or you see the reasons why they wrote it, but then now, much, much, much later, it just means something a little different. And I think it's like, I don't know, you look at the world every 20 years, you tell someone who's 20 years old, like what the world is going to be like at 40. No, we don't have a fucking clue, like at all. Yeah. And this, one event, this is it. This is all it takes. It took like days for this. Like,
it was over fast.
It's just, it's GG. Like, it's unbelievable how like insurmountable it is. Like but how do I, like, the movie's only grim. The ending sucks. There might only be one human left, and then
and not for long.
Yeah, she's done. Like, it's like what more? And then say she somehow escapes the situation. She still has to live in a world where everyone else is nothing. Everyone else is just
exactly like there's this. Whenever it came to your coping with the idea that maybe it is still him. What kind of life is that?
Yeah.
Like he is assimilating and becoming one of them without becoming one of them anyway. So it's like once a system enacts itself, unless there is a way to defeat it, there is no way out of it, and you surrender to it. And I think that there's I really wish that there was a way out, but they're just like, I can't conceive of one,
The happiest ending that I can come up with is that at the very end, that Screech, I don't know how but somehow he fakes it. He is faking it to test her, to see if she reacts in the same way, or if she is truly human, still, because kind of they're kind of alone. There's no one really around where he is. They have a lot of wide shots. That is, I don't know, they're very alone, and And I feel like, where is he going? You know, if he is part of the cog, if he's already a pod human, like, where's he going? He's off the beaten path. So it's like,
there you go.
It is though very ambiguous. Like, up until the point that he screeches, you think he's a human. Like, there was no.
And I think that there's a really impressive ambiguity to it. Because this being the second time I watched it really helped in this regard. And the first time you watch it, you're going like, sweet, you know, like, he's blending in, everything's going to be fine. And you perceive everything as him blending in. And then the second time you watch it, when you go, okay, he's one of them. There's a lot of just like, okay, yeah, he's one of them.
Like, but when does the switch happen? Whenever
the switch happens, whenever he is hiding underneath the dock, and someone goes under there and looks for him with a flashlight, and then the flashlight hits the camera and we flash forward.
Okay. So so like everything he did in his office, he grabbed like a newspaper clipping, you know, he was like, that's him. That's really him.
Yeah.
And then yeah. I mean,
that's the thing, is that like, I don't think the body snatchers are lying about the true mechanics at work. I think it's just that they are devoid of emotion.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
they still carry themselves. They still carry themselves and do the things that the person they are recreating did.
Oh.
You know, like, I don't think it's...
You think?
Well, they're all plugged right back into their same jobs. They all keep going back and doing the same thing. I think the body snatchers are under the impression that they are a savior race of sorts who are bringing about an end to war and, you know, bringing world peace, and all it's going to cost is your emotions.
Love. It's all about love, Tars. The method of love, Tars. You know, I mean, it all circles back.
Because at the end, when he's already one of them, we see a bunch of kids getting off a bus and celebrating and running and being excited. It's because they're not old enough to assimilate. They have to grow, so they have to bring these kids up to a certain age. I think, and change them then.
Oh no.
And then the cycle continues.
So, oh no, yeah, we didn't see any kids. We saw. Oh, okay. There was one somewhat non-human thing that was born, and then there was
dog.
What? Huh? It was that. That seemed like an ultimate human detector. Because if you send that thing out, the cog, they won't react, you know? But a human is going to look at that.
A human's going to be like, oh my God, what the way Brooke Adams does. Yeah, no, 100%. They actually show how that got made.
No way.
It was accidental. There's a pod near a homeless man and his dog that like something happens and it gets them. It's like a blink and you miss it sort of thing.
I didn't know.
So it's a blended thing of two people, or a person and a dog.
That's terrible. Yeah, it's like, it's a fucked up version of Alien. Like, it's not just a xenomorph that comes out. It is you, but not you at all. Like, it's, and then whatever the hell
nightmare
happens.
stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's, dealing with doppelgangers in general is terrifying to me. The only good thing about, like, the only less scary thing about these doppelgangers is that, like, you literally cannot exist at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, one of them falls asleep, the other wakes up.
You have to fall asleep to do it.
You have to fall asleep.
That was cool.
You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep.
Yeah, oh my God. And that just adds a whole other layer to it. Like, they're taking Adderall. They take 5 Adderall to stay awake.
Yeah.
They're just
it's speed.
Freaking
how many does it say? It says
Yeah.
to take 1. Take 5. I fucking I loved that, dude. And that's why, like, Donald Sutherland is for me an easy performance choice. Like, and character probably. Don't get me wrong. Brooke Adams, incredible.
Yeah.
I love what she does. One of my favorite actresses, specifically of the year 1978. Funny enough, she was also in the movie Days of Heaven, which is absolutely incredible. Terrence Malick flick. Great movie. But great actress, love her work. We also have Veronica Cartwright in that role as the last survivor. And you connected it to Alien. That is Lambert. the one who basically plays the same role in Alien, where she's just always panicking and screaming.
Oh man! Wow. Yeah.
Like they were casting Alien, and they were like, "Yeah, we need exactly that. What they're doing there with that."
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I mean, of course, Jeff Goldblum. You gotta love Jeff Goldblum.
Man. Yeah.
God damn, is he fine.
170. Was that just a way to get, just to input, like, damn, all right, Jeff Goldblum, all right, whatever.
Look at how fucking beastly this man is. Just a fucking Adonis. Especially at the time, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. He's still a really incredible looking man. I once posted online. It was during the promotion for Wicked, because he's the Wizard of Oz. In the Wicked movies, because of course he is. It's more believable that Jeff Goldblum would be the Wizard of Oz than that the Wizard of Oz would be Jeff Goldblum. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my head.
I track I track.
Yeah, you get it. It was a video of him playing the piano and just kind of looking at this man's like 70. I quoted the video and said, "I want to fuck this man." I'm like, this dude is so fine, and he's so talented, and I think I really enjoyed that character a lot the second time around, kind of the Han Solo insert of this group, and I do appreciate that, the everyman who says he, the reluctant hero, doesn't have any friends, and, he's a lone wolf, but he's soft for his wife, and he's actually a good friend. He's willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good, and dude, I fuck with that.
Nice. Yeah, he always, he was always the annoyance to the doctor before, but then, or like whatever,
Dr. Kibner.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, dude.
Leonard Nimoy, though, another great actor, another great performance.
Yeah, knew he was a Skrull, or like, there's so many different things. And it's like, and then, but even what's her name? Not Elizabeth, Nancy. Nancy, I think is like, it's just like they said in the old times, or like, a race born again or something like that. Like it's happening again or something like that. And that put a whole new layer on it of like, wait a minute.
Yeah, she says, it's just like when those spacemen came to Earth and mated with the monkeys and created the human race. It's happening again.
I'm like, am I, me? Well along the line of one of these things, I hope, like well down the line. Right. We have emotions. So that's a good thing. Good reality check there. It's love is still in the air, and just more clear. I think the theme is just more love is always better, and the less love there is, that world sucks. They're just transporting space alien pods across the world, and then what? And then. Like,
to what end? That's why I'm like, I think they are under the impression that they are a savior race.
Ooh, what happens actually now? Now that they've achieved what they wanted, now that there is no emotion whatsoever on Earth, and it is just whatever cycles were before are moving onwards, it's like, it is, I guess, I don't know, just that time.
Oh, like, and is this the first time they've been able to assimilate with a population that had intelligent life, and therefore now they are going to be able to figure out how to breach the starways and travel the galaxy and look for other life and keep doing this, because like they seem to just come from plants before. It didn't even seem to be I feel like this is the first time they've done this, and
yeah, a space plant. I mean, that is what, like, the white thing that I really want to know how that effect was done. But I love how it was, like, this ambiguous. Like, it is just alien life. We have no clue what the fuck it could be, and we have no clue what it could do to us. And it's like, it could take over our entire race. And I love, like, the Nancy even playing music for her plants. Like, I've just gone, I don't know, plant crazy a little bit recently. Yeah. Literally today. Also, I went on a bunch of errands, and there were just two plants that were undeniable. I saw them and I had to buy them. I've made this kind of rule ever since I got this one succulent that looks like it comes out of Star Wars world. The world. Oh, what's the world called? Bendu, and Kanan's blind on there. And it's one of their bases for a little bit in Rebels.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That planet, it's like a tree. It like comes out of that planet. I don't know. It's
pretty sure it's Chopper Base. I'm pretty sure it's the base. I don't know the planet. But.
Yes, but like that. Ever since I see plants that can mimic Star Wars. If I see a Star Wars like plant, I just got to go for it. and I bought literally 2 plants today. And then there's this whole thing of a plant invade. I guess it's a space plant, but it starts on a flower, and then it infects the human race. And literally the flower of this plant that I bought, like, almost, it's like 50% the way there.
You're like, it's like basically
and I'm like,
that.
Yeah, why did I buy a plant today of all days?
I love that she's like a botany almost seems like a hobby for her. Mm-hmm. Because it doesn't appear to be like her job day to day.
Yeah,
but
was she a teacher?
She's like, I found a flower. She's like, look at the flower. I've never been able to find anything like this. I don't know what she, but that's the thing is, I don't think it really mattered what she was like.
Because she was life in
changed.
The lab, I guess, or Sutherland expected her to be in the lab by like 7:30 to give her or to do the test or whatever.
She works at City Hall or wherever
at the Department of Health, I guess. Mm-hmm. So. But at the very beginning, she was like, maybe it was just on her walk home or something. She was like with kids though, I feel like, and she was like, "Hey kids, take these home to your parents or whatever." And then it's like,
right,
damn,
yeah, the beginning of this movie features what is truly like the definition of a cameo and is one of the greatest cameos ever. The priest swinging on the swings is played by Robert Duvall, who is in The Godfather and The Godfather 2 and Apocalypse Now.
Wait.
He's I love the smell of napalm in the morning. The guy who wants to surf the beach. What? Yeah, that's just Robert Duvall. And when I was watching it this time, I was like, wait, is Robert Duvall in this fucking movie? Nope. He's just there for half a fucking second, filmed it for free, and got the fuck on. He's supposed to be the first, one.
Wow.
Is the idea.
The first cameo of all time? Like the first true.
No, the first first one in the movie to be infected or overtaken. Okay. No, definitely not the first cameo. I mean, I can't imagine.
78. Yeah, the idea has never been thought of.
That seems pretty late.
It is. Yes, in all of Hollywood history, it took.
It does have another interesting cameo role, which is the taxi driver, which is why this one's not a cameo, it's an actual small speaking part, which is why I think the word cameo gets thrown around a little too loosely modernly, with Marvel movies. But regardless, what would be referred to as a modern Marvel-esque cameo is the taxi driver who leads them to the police and then they have to get out and run. Is played by Don Siegel, who was the director of the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers movie. And was a legendary director, did a lot of incredible work.
That's very nice. Yes.
Yeah, very cool.
That's a cool feeling. But yeah, cinema-wise,
gorgeous, dude.
Very, very
unbelievably good-looking movie. And incredible sound design. Of course, it's by Ben Burtt, who is Star Wars legend. Ben Burtt did all the sound design for Star Wars. One of the things that he pulled for the actual sound of the pods, birthing, there's that heartbeat. Thum, thum,
yeah.
Thum, thum, thum. That's from one of his wife's sonograms when she was pregnant.
What the? It's legit. It's
an actual human heartbeat, which is awesome.
Yeah, and that's and what we see, this birth happen, and it is,
and it's an actual baby face, but it's a giant body.
It's
God,
gross.
It's terrifying.
It's gross.
I love body horror like this, dude.
Yeah, and whenever he gets to kill himself, he's debating on killing everyone else, and he goes, just me feels right. Actually, I think I can only kill myself, but it's not really.
Well, and I like that he thinks about killing Elizabeth first.
Yeah,
and it's he almost can't bring himself to do it, so he goes ahead and kills himself because that's easier.
Yeah,
and that's what a dude. What a guy, what a fella. And I love that underneath the main, obviously harrowing, terrifying story is that there are these two people who are obviously in love with each other, but never would have done anything about it because they're both too good. and then the universe kind of gives them a fucked up opportunity to like embrace their love, and they do.
Hey, your thoughts become your reality, maybe to the
Right.
maximum degree. You know, they wanted this love so bad that the fucking universe made them the only four
said,
human
"Okay."
left on Earth. So you know, 4 people left at one point, then down to 3 because Jeff Goldblum got snatched, and then she fell asleep. Damn, I mean, come on, dog. Right whenever she's like, wait here in the fucking organic patch of Earth that we are in right now, and don't go to sleep. You know, I was like, God damn it, I don't know. So that was
I mean, and I love one of my favorite images is them looking at each other through those reeds, like through the grass, the tall grass, because it looks like, and I didn't get this until my rewatch, it looks like the shattered windshield.
I wasn't thinking that. Okay, that's even cooler. When it just
whenever
mimics
she
the
looks
white
at him,
hair, probably.
Yeah, it does. It does a little bit, and it's like it's a subtle little thing that's like shit, because that's so casual that they handle it like this guy threw a fucking
cracked. Oh my
this
god,
this guy threw a fucking wine bottle at his windshield because he came to his restaurant, which I think is fucking hysterical. That the restaurant workers were like, "Yeah, we got
fuck
this
guy,"
and like, fuck this dude.
The health inspector coming in and taking the rat shit
Dude,
out
they
of our pasta
I mean,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Here's the thing. Never have I've worked in a couple restaurants or a couple food places. Never have I ever seen rat shit.
That would
okay.
be insane.
That is something
In
that it
the
is
pot,
absolute.
too.
It's absolutely excusable to get your shit fucking rocked for something like that. Like to go outside and be like, I'm going to throw a wine bottle at this guy's windshield. When you have rat shit in your food, I don't know, dude. Like that's on you.
I mean, rat shit on the floor is one thing, but in the pot that the food
in the
was
food,
cooking
yeah.
in,
Like when it comes to food places, you're going to get pests. Like that is just something that, like, whether it's bugs or something, like it's in. You do everything you can to prevent it. Obviously,
we live in their world.
in your food, you can avoid that.
Yeah.
Like you got to be aware of that.
And he, so I mean, they were like very seemingly just normal health inspectors, and she was in the lab. They seemed to like work together and so I'm just trying to think
Well, and he was like aware of her marital he's work husband, and she's
that
work
can only
wife,
mean a good thing, or like he's different. And he's like, that can only be good actually, because that dude is a piece of shit and he loves the Golden State Warriors, I guess, and that is this like a diss to just all Warriors fans or NBA fans, or
they're in San Francisco, so I mean, like them being a Golden State Warriors fans would track, but I think it's more like he's into sports. He's a simple man.
That triangle, like the pyramid skyscraper building, like is that a real San Francisco building? Back at like, is that? I don't feel like that exists now.
I don't know what building you are speaking of.
Oh yeah, they had like there were some aerial shots, and I don't know. It was like I've never seen this building before. It wasn't exactly a pyramid, but it was like if a skyscraper was just kind of I don't know. It's
like a pyramidal prison.
Yes, very tall
Prism?
pyramid.
Sorry.
Yes, just take. I don't know. But I feel like I don't know. How. Like to look that up, even I'm trying to.
I looked up San Francisco skyline, and I think I see the building you're talking about.
Yes, it just has a very tip. The tip is really pyramidal,
but it
goes
just the tip.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I've never. That's why I didn't even think this was a real city. Like at one point.
Yeah, we were in San Francisco the whole movie.
Yeah. Yes, that's when the scene. Yeah. Whenever he's Sutherland and the doctor are outside on the roof talking about like, hey, we don't want to make this a big deal.
God damn, gorgeous movie, dude.
Yeah,
like,
so it was
beautiful shots. I love how dramatically lit it is. I love melodramatic paranoia. Like one of the only other movies that I feel like captures the essence of the I can't trust anybody thing is Mission Impossible, which is another wonderful paranoia thriller. I love paranoia and the depiction of it on screen, where like it's just like, can I trust you?
Yeah,
I love that shit.
Even when
love that shit.
Nancy, yeah, I always want to go to Nance, but Nancy, when she shows up in the stairwell, like later on, and they're like, like, you can't, like, hold on a minute.
They got
like,
you.
They're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, can we trust you yet? Oh shit, and then I don't know. It's nice that it's like any slight emotion that you show is like, oh, thank fucking God you're a human. It's like it was so easy to kind of to tell when someone was a human, and so easy to tell whenever they were the cog or the, you just had to wait for them to fucking screech at you. I don't know the horror part, the hair, the freaking that it just goes everywhere. It's like
God, so nasty.
it's like I've not that I love my plants, but I'm looking at them a little bit differently after this movie.
Sideways. Yeah.
It's like
what do you have planned for me, little guy?
But it's like they're fucking so weird. Like they are alien species. Whenever you look at, like, I don't, like, you just watch them.
Yeah, like they are alive.
They fucking point to the sun, and very much, I do play music for them, and legitimately, I have seen like the improvement of when I've started just leaving music on almost all day whenever I'm on campus for my plants. It's like, I don't know, it's nuts, like night and day difference. And so I don't know, maybe the sun's just hitting them differently. Maybe it's placebo a little bit. But I've been trying it.
I like the idea that plants like music. Yeah, that's cool.
Specifically,
I like that idea.
Jazz and classical music is the main.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, but then I've been playing, like, sometimes I just leave it on for me, and this, I don't know, might say a lot about, I don't know. Anyway, I put on, it's called ADHD focus music. You gotta fucking, if you ever need to lock in, let me tell you, even if you don't have ADHD, I swear this shit is just, it's got some crack in it.
This shit will cook.
But it's like just 8 hours on YouTube, and I let it rip for them.
Well,
and I
speaking
swear,
of music, dude, this has some incredible score work. Like, I love the soundtrack to this movie, and there are moments whenever it flares up that really, really are just like whenever they do get out of the cab and they're running. I love that musical cue. That is one of my favorites in the movie, dude. There's very few holes I can even begin to poke quality wise in this movie, dude. Like, it's exceedingly good, and it's really well performed. It's really good looking. It's one of those ones where, like, it slipped in my brain because it's so much fun and it's so simple, and it provides very, I don't know, simple pleasures. Like, I love paranoia thrillers, I love science fiction, I love horror. It has all those things, so it's like I remember it as being a fun sci-fi horror movie, and then I watch it and I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking great. Like, it's a really good movie, and I need to give it more credit in my head. I think I just love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's got the forbidden love, in there too, and the chemistry between the two is like actually insane.
Ooh.
Like, this is
Sutherland and Brooke Adams look like they are 4 seconds away from ripping each other's clothes off all the time.
Yeah, the kiss, like their first kiss they had whenever they were like nose kissing, face kissing. They just like put their faces together and then
Donald Sutherland, underrated. And like, I know Jeff Goldblum's in the movie, so we did discuss him because you kind of have to. It's Jeff Goldblum.
The stash, man.
But Donald Sutherland,
come on,
holy shit!
Yeah,
what a good looking guy. There's an earlier '70s film called Don't Look Now. I almost picked it instead of this. It's another '70s horror Donald Sutherland movie, and I put that movie on a list with La Chimera, because I think it was just these two movies. Unconventionally attractive men in Italy.
Okay. Yeah.
That have a strange connection to the beyond. Like, that is the name of the list. It's one of those oddly specific. It's just these two movies. It's just Josh O'Connor and Donald Sutherland, and for some reason they are connected to the other side. And they are also in Italy, which is awesome. Just another fun layer. But
he rocked.
I love Sutherland, man.
Yeah. After MASH and Hunger Games, that's all I've really got him in too. So
he's great as President Snow too. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I don't want to undersell him.
Like, that's like it's like, I don't know. He just I don't know, fit that character so well. The beard, the fucking hair. I don't know, the look. He has the look even at the old age. But here, just the stash is all he needs. It's and
God, he's so. I love how 70s this movie is. By the way, like it is just 70s to the max, and he is so good in it.
Man, and even the little I don't know what the party, or was it like a book release?
The book release,
was doing or
for
something
Dr.
like
Kibner.
That. Yeah, and like just how like personal everyone was back in the day. I don't know, like it just feels a little weird. Or like whenever he's like there is a couple that is actually going through the dupe thing. I guess who knows how early he becomes a pod. Actually, like in reality, but
I think that he's a pod the entire movie
from just jump.
From the time we meet him, I think he is a pod.
And wait, that's really weird, because then like Sutherland really, really wants her to go see him, like really, really bad, and I feel like this is the funnel, like this is the ultimate funnel into I think getting the other person, like, oh, my my partner is feeling weird. Oh, that must mean you're a human still. You're coming to a psychiatrist. Right. Okay. Boom. Thank you very much. Like, you still have feelings. So
yeah, I think Kibner is definitely in a position to also sway them in the opposite direction. Like, he's a doctor. He's trustworthy. Like, it's his responsibility in the pod community, as it were, to like go, nah, that's crazy. You must realize how that sounds. Which is why I'm like, they're smart. They're not like, and he is the example of that. It's not like they are a hive mind. They are individuals. Which is really interesting.
He really doesn't speak with much emotion at all. It is just straight truths, kind of, that he always brings up.
Well, or his version of them.
Yeah,
so, like
until he knows.
That's why I'm like,
wow.
Whenever he says to like, I love how, again, on rewatch, the things that sort of information can illuminate is really awesome. Like whenever Leonard Nimoy delivers the line where Donald Sutherland's like, you think it's all a coincidence? And he's like, I want to believe you. I do. He doesn't say it with any inflection. He doesn't say it in any particular way. He just says the right thing.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool. And, yeah, one of the more interesting characters in the movie for that reason on rewatch.
So maybe it is kind of like their intellect really is all that matters. The only thing that will translate is kind of intellect at the end of the day, because
logic.
Yeah, because Jeffrey, the husband, the Warriors fan, he seems to just kind of be like a grunt. I don't know. He's just okay, all right, take my wife. All right, cool. He's just very whatever. So but the doctor can kind of fit in to the real world still and be the true no emotion self, which is like weird. It's actually normal for him as a psychiatrist. Like it's like
to be kind of neutral.
Yeah.
To not present passionately one way or the other. And like I love that they immediately show you Jeffrey in the beginning watching the Warriors game and being very expressive and intimate and excited and all this sort of stuff. Or neglectful, like one way or the other. Like it's not like he wasn't a great husband, but you could tell that he was a human.
Yes.
And then the second he changes, you're like, oh, yep, this guy's a problem. And it's like obvious. I love the laundromat scene whenever he's like, my wife isn't my wife.
Yeah.
It's not her anymore. And then when he goes back and is like, oh, she's all better. And Don Sutton's like, oh shit. I love this shit. I love how Sorry, I dropped my phone. I love how he slowly realizes that she is telling like the truth and is right. Not just like he believes her, he believes she means what she says, but whenever he realizes like, she isn't deluded. Yeah. This is absolutely what's happening. Yeah. It's really interesting. And the way she realizes it is because I don't think they ever even say it. Besides when she's talking to her husband. Whenever the lady at the party who is like, he's not my husband anymore. And she's like, and you touched this, you reached for the scar and it wasn't there anymore. And she's like, no, it was still there. Her husband's scar wasn't there. She's like touching his head and then she like pulls away and she's like, gotta go.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, which is
Man.
I love the subtle little stuff in the movie, dude.
There's all the horror, all this like slow build over time. It just kept unraveling. Just kept getting a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, and then it's like, all right, let's go to the airport. Fuck. All right. Oh, a ship. We're saved. Fuck. It's actually worldwide.
But yeah, no, the way it just gets bigger and bigger, like the like, there's and then it's like they have a factory. They are they are manufacturing these, and like it's over. Like they are going nationwide, and worldwide. Yeah.
I mean, crazy enough, right whenever Matthew starts to blow up the plant factory where all the babies are being made, I literally had fireworks going off right outside my windows right when the explosions happened. It was kind of nuts. And for a second, I had to actually think, like, is this real? But which was pretty freaking sick.
That is cool. Talk
about
40x experience.
Yes, the explosions, like, just I'm like, oh man, this is insane. Like, my window is open too, and I see these fire. Like, I'm sitting in the position where I see both of the things happening, and yeah, it was a wild experience there. So I mean, yeah, that's I guess perfect timing. It's football. I guess football fireworks. It's not like we're just lighting random, I guess, fireworks off on a Friday night. I didn't know we did that for our football team, anyways, in Rolla. But I guess we do.
S&T, baby, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. I guess,
yeah. And it's kind of funny that I live on the opposite side of campus to where the football field is, and I can still like hear the band play whenever like a play goes down or like if something happened. That's how I don't know. I know that we're
yeah. I love fight songs. Big fan of fight songs and college football bands. So sick. Like the NFL could do wonders for themselves if they had a fucking band. Like that would be so sick. I would love that. Like home teams got like a section. Can you imagine how big of a fucking band you could put in a goddamn football stadium? That would be so cool. How many jobs is that creating for how many talented people? I would love that shit. Sorry, I know that is not even close to related to Invasion of the Body
have a
Snatchers.
connection to the movie though. Say this world is a thing. What is music? What do the musicians do?
Art's gone.
Feelings aren't a thing anymore. So like that's what I'm saying is that like people can go back to their cog jobs or like I don't know. Is it like a severance thing where not really like they go to their job just because it's the job and that's all they do and all the emotions are gone. But like yeah, what is an artist? Like someone who was pure painter. Do they paint still? You know, is it like, can you even? Do you want to paint anymore? Whenever you're a pod,
I don't know that you want.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't think that there's any want about anything anymore. It's just doing, and which does. That's why I'm like, I don't know that I don't think anyone's being controlled. They're being replaced. And I think it's just a version of everybody that is 100% logical. There's no emotion. There's no other thought that goes into anything. It's just, what is the thing to do now? This is the thing I do now.
The only control part is just if you find a human, we turn them into one of us. So that's kind of... Because I mean, maybe that's why
biological programming. Like at least that's.
Yeah.
I guess there's definitely an element of control in that regard, but like they are creating the person from scratch. It's not like they are.
That's true.
It's not like they are
individual
taking over a person. Mind. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know that it's so much control as much as it is community. Like in their heads, like they are like, this is what we do.
I see.
This is a biological imperative for them. It's not just, it's not like they're like, this would be fun. No, they're like, this is what we do. This is what we got to do.
on the real, like, as a, if we want to live for a long time on other planets, like, the fact that it just takes 9 months for us to cook before we can be born, like, that shit sucks. I mean, well, it's good. I think it's actually a very good thing. It keeps us very humble. It keeps us on good pace. Because if we could pop out like this at this rate, the world's over. Like, every resource is gone. So it's like, I'm glad the 9-month kind of time block is there, but like every, I don't know, a plant or like any other species, they just pop, boom, boom, exponential growth at just, and it's just, I don't know, popping off like nothing. Yeah, like that's why this is just such a, it's so outlandish. It's like an alien space planet that's floated from another planet, but how the fuck do we know that's not a possibility? How, I don't know. Like,
we literally do not know. It's not a possibility. It very well could be, because we wouldn't fucking know if it was.
I hate it. Yeah, it's like it's such a background thought. It's such a this is the best kind of horror. The ones that don't need to jump scare or to to just do and I love traditional horror as well. Like, it has its place for sure. But this is just my preference. Movies like this, the
sci-fi horror is just one of the best subgenres there is, dude. Like, Alien is one of my favorite movies ever made, period, and is probably the quintessential science fiction horror film. I would put this probably behind Alien for me in that genre, which is really high praise. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, science fiction horror. I mean, I don't.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope is sci-fi horror.
That's tough. That's tough for me. Yeah, I love me some Nope. That's
Get Out, in a regard, is even kind of science fiction horror, because not in the traditional sense where it's like Aliens. Like it's definitely different, but as far as a procedure that removes your consciousness and puts it in another person's body, that is science fiction.
Yeah, no, this is high. I mean, a very hard, I feel like, genre to get right. Like to have, and like maybe you can do it on like one big twist or one big crazy part of just the premise that it is. But like I feel like this just, it constantly kept like innovating, and it constantly just kept unraveling and getting bigger, and like there was always, I don't know, it got grimmer, which is weird because like I'm very much enjoying the movie. It's like, and it's, I think it's because like we're seeing what the world would be like if we didn't have emotion. And it's like, oh, thank God, like thankfully we are all, or most of us still have emotions, and we can think, and I am, I think at one point in my life I was purely logical, and I'm trying every day to trust my feelings a lot more, and lead with that. Logic has its place, but no, I'm a human being.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes,
Movies like this, that it's a nice. It might be grim, the movie itself, but kind of just another lens to see, the beauty in what we got.
Absolutely, because I think that's I think what's cool about the movie is it reminds you would fight these motherfuckers till the end. Like you would assimilate just to still be you, like to still have that a semblance of freedom, a notion of freedom. You would still do what you needed to. You're rooting for him to be alone in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want him to be there, even though it means a truly lonesome existence, like there is, because the alternative is also lonesome, and you're not even there. You are. It's a weird. I love the concept, and I think it's pulled off pretty brilliantly. And I'm happy that it was the choice I went to. I debated going with something else, and I'm glad I didn't. I didn't. Great movie.
There were, I don't know, that's, I don't know, these choices, somehow, the more we limit, a cinema surprise, I feel like this is kind of October spookery, the harder I have, well, I guess that does make, I don't know, like, or there's way more movies that I have in line, but it's so much harder just to narrow it down to one.
No, I'm with you. Especially given that we only have 2 choices each.
This is true.
That's like, if we were doing a long range, like, it's going to be 12, we're each going to get 6 horror movies. It would be different, you know, like, and, you know, I like to think long term, and I'm like, next October. I love that, like, every year we've done a project, I've been like, well, when we do this next year and the year after that, and so far it's held up. But I just, yes. I'm confident we'll be able to get to do this. Yeah, exactly. You know, exactly.
But every single sequel. Yeah, that was, I don't know. That
was a workshopped idea for those who are listening. Last Halloween, we had a whole scheduling thing that really shifted everything for us. We were originally going to premiere our podcast, The Cinementalists, in September with the Star Wars trilogy, and then do 5 weeks of horror movies through October.
Yes.
But what we did is we ended up loading all of the Halloween episodes onto all of the October episodes onto Halloween itself, and releasing the Star Wars episodes in October also, just to give us a little bit more padding whenever it came to recording. And it was a great choice, and it was a lot of fun. So last year we covered The Exorcist, Evil Dead, Halloween, Night of the Living Dead, and what's the last one? Evil Dead, Exorcist, Night of the Living Psycho. Yeah, Psycho. Okay. We thought maybe we would cover all of their sequels because they all have sequels this October, but we decided to shift it a little bit. It's something we probably will revisit eventually, because it's too fun of an idea. Like, the fact that we did it and they all happen to have sequels is too good. But so we'll probably be back to that eventually. But in fact, I think they all have threequels. I think they all have a third movie also, which is fucking crazy. At least. Franchise genre horror. You can do a lot here, which is why it's really cool that Invasion of the Body Snatchers never has, because what else is there to do? It's over.
Oh, I guess
you can't do shit at this point. Which is, I guess, I love that everyone's had the wherewithal to go, well, you can't pick up Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
It's
Nobody's
like a
ever
cool
tried.
world they build. Like, it's the transformation. It's cool, but this is kind of the only story that you can tell, unless humans win somehow.
Yeah, like there's I'll spoil the 50s one a little bit. In the 50s one, there's an express moment that should be the end of the movie, and it's basically the end of this movie. And then there's one more scene where it'd be like if this chick turned around and if Nancy turned around and ran away and then found someone with authority who was a human still and got them to call in the National Guard. And then that's the end of the 50s movie. Like, the 50s movie has a happy ending where it's like, we're going to figure this out. If I recall correctly, I might be misremembering that, because I did watch it prior to this by like a year, or maybe 2. So like, I haven't watched that one in a long time. I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that one has a happy ending compared to this ending. But yeah, so pretty big differences. But that's also why, because you can't do anything else with the world, that's why this movie has been made 4 times. With the original 50s version, this version, which is the best, and then a 90s version, and then one in 2007 with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig. Frankly, I'm curious about. I love the cast.
That's why, I would like to see all the evolution of these movies, because, like, I mean, I wonder how much it is just like remaking an homage or kind of to the other ones. But this one, I don't know. I haven't seen the original, so I don't know how much of it is there. But it feels like it's just a timeless story that you can tell at any point in time. And it would be cool to see what it is like in the 90s.
The 50s one plays like an episode of The Twilight Zone, kind of. You know, like, it's kind of like adventure of the week, like, oh, wouldn't this be terrible? Okay. And it's over, you know? And this one, it's like, I don't know, you're just like 70s, the 70s horror just had a different fucking flair to it, man. It was so goddamn good. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I feel pretty good about it. Very good about it. Is there anything else you got?
Season. Oh no, I'm glad that it's the movies are getting spooky and getting.
Oh, dude, I love spooky season. It's the fucking best, dude. It's the fucking best. I absolutely love it. But you got a choice to make. You've got next week's Cinema Surprise on the docket. I'm going to go ahead and do some plugs, and then we are going to rate this movie, and then you are going to announce what next week's Cinema Surprise is. And for those listening, if this is your first time, which, you know, that happens a lot with the movie podcast, the Cinema Surprise rule as it is right now in October is that it has to be a Halloween-esque film. Can be truly a horror film, can be something like this that's more paranoia thriller that has horror aspects. It could be like Hotel Transylvania for all I care, as long as it's like in that vein of spooky film.
Dang.
However,
No, I'm kidding.
however, it can't be Hotel Transylvania because that movie was released after 2000. The other rule that we implemented was that it has to be 20th century horror. It cannot be 21st century. Can't be anything after 2000. We are going all 1900s with it. So, he picked Eraserhead in week 1. I picked Invasion of the Body Snatchers week 2. And soon week 3 will be announced. So, if you would, subscribe and like or review wherever you're listening. 5 stars, baby, 5 stars. I want to hear it. You know, like Kiki Palmer says to Brandon Perea and Nope, 5 stars, Angel, 5 stars. I want that. I want that. Gimme that. We have a great time doing the podcast. We want to know that you have a great time listening to it. If you have any requests, if you have any movies that you're like, oh, we would love to hear you, I would love to hear you cover that. Let me know. We get a lot more of that on YouTube than we do anywhere else. You know, YouTube comments where people are like, ooh, you should cover this. And half the time I read the comments and I'm like, why would we cover that? And, you know, like, I don't, you know, no shade. Maybe we'll get around to it eventually. You know, maybe we will. We're always going to keep it in the back of mind. But, yeah, I would love to hear from you. Leave us a review. Leave us a 5-star review. I would love to hear it. You can listen to our other shows. We've got a Twin Peaks podcast, Baby Fire Pod with me, a Twin Peaks podcast, which is going to be bringing you another episode of The Return next Monday. Twin Peaks The Return, we are into, quote-unquote, season 3 of Twin Peaks. If you are a Twin Peaks fan, you got to check it out. If you are not a Twin Peaks fan, you have to watch the show and then listen to our show about it. We would love to have you. More than anything, though, you should watch Twin Peaks, and if you happen to want to listen to a podcast about it, check out Fire Pod with me. We've got you. We've also got Geek with me going on, where pretty soon we're going to be kicking off what is one of the more fun projects we have ever come up with. We're doing something called Alphabet Soup. Comic Cooks Alphabet Soup. I'm very, very excited for it. We're going to be starting with a couple of comic book entities that start with A, whether that's, you know, Aquaman, Avengers, Ant-Man, whatever. We're going to cover that for a couple weeks. And then we're going to move on to B. Ant-Man, that's a good one. We're going to move on. I came up with that one. I kind of spoiled. We're going to go on to B. And, you know, Batman, Bane, Bill.
Body Snatchers. No.
Body Snatchers. You know, whatever. And we're just going to keep doing that for as long as we can fucking do it, baby. I'm very excited. That'll be over on Geek With Me. We are also wrapping up coverage of Peacemaker Season 2. If that wasn't this week, it will be next week. It's next week. All right. So next week, we will be concluding Peacemaker Season 2. Very excited about that. So you got to check that out. But yeah, baby. I think that's all I got. So let's rate Invasion of the Body Snatchers. How you feeling?
Yes. Let's see. I gave it the good old 4.5, I guess. It wasn't quite.
I expected the 4.5 out of you here.
And
there's not a lot of like I want to cry. If I cry during a movie, it is automatically more likely. Yeah, it is automatically more likely to be a 5 if it affects me on a level that makes me moved to tears. Now, if I cry, it doesn't automatically mean the movie will be a 5. True. It just does give it a better opportunity. And in a movie like this, where you know there is the capacity for an emotional payoff that could make you cry, and there isn't one, I do think it prevents it from achieving its full potential, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that you nailed it on the head for me there. I didn't know why until you said the no cry. Yeah, and I think I had other really good feelings. Like there was like a revolutionary, kind of kick. Like even though it's very, very grim, I still thought,
a lot of revolutions are, to be fair, and you could win,
true.
but a lot of revolutions are grim regardless.
Mm-hmm. So there were very, other good emotions, but it just didn't quite get me all the way. But still very, very, like, cinematically, I can't really complain much at all. Like, this is looking great the whole time. And like, even when the sound is, like, there's like some, like, moments of uncomfort, like, the sound design isn't overbearing, like a lot of, I feel like horror movies use it a little too much, or like, and then because things become like very obvious or things are about to happen, I feel like or whatever. But this, I don't know, it's not really concerned with that. This one's just the slow burn. But I'm thinking, let's see, yeah, to go back, I guess on previous, I like it more than Memento. I think Memento has a cool premise, and I think I would have thought a Chris Nolan movie would have come out over this before I watched it, but so I'm over the 8. But Prisoners and Cleo and Blue Velvet, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's got a little bit. It's not quite there for me either. It's not quite there for me.
8,
I'm
7,
over Phoenician
5?
Scheme. I'm over Phoenician Scheme. I'm in the 9s. I'm a surefire in the 9s guy. I'm leaning 9.25, maybe 9.5. I could see myself going that high, but because I'm like, maybe I'm going to go with 9.25. I think that's where I'm going to settle down.
That's where I landed.
Yeah.
The 9.5 was, I don't know.
That's just a bridge too far for me, which
That's
I know is splitting
to
hairs, but I feel very good about it.
Of course, the one number that defines this movie, of course.
Well, it must be if it's the one we both landed on,
I guess so. Hey. A 9.25, or the good old 93 on
93
on the what now?
On the Cinementalists, baby. We love the Cinementalists. We love the Cinementalists. Big fan of the Cinementalists. So 93% for Invasion of the Body Snatchers. We got another Donald Sutherland film under our belt. Probably the first one since our first episode of the 52-year journey through film in MASH, which is kind of wild to think about. Kind of a weird bookend for MASH to Invasion of the Body Snatchers. A lot of coverage there. But yeah, man, I loved it. I'm feeling very good about it. What is going to be the third installment in October's Cinema Surprise, your last horror movie pick of the month? We have Eraserhead, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and what is going to be next week?
So, I was between a lot of movies. This was so hard to narrow down. And I ideally wanted a movie that you haven't seen. But man, you've seen a lot of really good horror movies. I have. So it was really, really hard to find one that you haven't seen. And so sadly, the one I arrived at, you have seen it. But it seems that you like it, is based, I don't know. I didn't want to read your review actually too much. And maybe afterwards you can say if it is spoiler free, if I could read it, but I've never seen it, this movie quite yet. I'll say the one that you haven't seen that I was between, since this is just my last pick. I'm glad I didn't pick it. I don't know why. It just was this weird cult class. It felt like a cult movie-ish. The Cube, 97. It was I don't know. It was kind of like Saw-esque, but I thought it could be better than Saw. But I was like, that was the only one that you haven't seen, and I was like, that was why I was trying to force it in. I feel like it's one that you haven't seen, but going with a classic. This is right in the horror vein, but maybe not as classic as horror gets. I don't know. This is it feels like a really cool blend of something. But I'm going with Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, or
Oh,
Bram
dude.
Stoker's Dracula,
Dude.
I guess, alternatively.
Oh, you just
nice.
opened up the world for me, my boy. That was going to be my next pick.
No way.
Oh,
Actually?
yes,
For real?
yes,
Wow.
absolutely.
Okay.
So
Well-
now I get to reopen the fucking book on it. I love that. Thank
Wow,
you.
I guess sorry.
Thank
I guess
you.
So. Oh, I guess yeah. Then you're cool. I mean, I saw this cast. You have
dude.
talked about it before.
I love that
and then
movie.
I'm seeing the Gary Oldman as Dracula. That's just sick enough. But I mean, we got Keanu Reeves, Anthony Hopkins, and Winona
Keanu?
Ryder. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, if you visit my Letterboxd right now,
Yes.
it is in the midst of my 4 favorites.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do love that movie.
There
I
you go.
and I will read my review because there is a little bit of not really spoilery, but it's you know it's Dracula, so like the story
Yeah.
roughly.
Yeah, true. I guess
I
what's
said-
much to spoil?
Because this one's a little bit of a mixed reception. As a lot of Francis Ford Coppola movies are.
Better.
We love those. And I'll just read the first sentence just because like we're going to review it next week in full. My review begins, I feel sorry for those who don't, but fortunately, I fucking get it. That's all. I was like, I fucking get it, dude. It works for me, and I cannot wait. I'm so like, the more you built up to it, the more I was like, he picked Bram Stoker's Dracula, baby. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I wanted to go very my
Classic
Blue
horror-esque
Velvet,
story. Yeah.
Felt I don't know, kind of, or it was just not. I don't know. I wanted to get true fucking horror.
Yeah, like we're getting classic Halloween character here. Dracula.
Yes.
Let's fucking
Yeah,
go. Like that's that. Yeah. So that was why that was the logic I was going to use as well for the pick was like, it's Dracula, what's not to like?
Yeah,
let's fucking cook with it.
It seemed like Dracula with a little twist, or I don't know, like, and I don't
It's
even know
definitely,
what to
it's definitely a
expect.
fresh take. It's definitely a fresh take on Dracula. But I'm excited. I'm excited. That opens my world up. I get to pick something else for my last choice,
Wow.
which is a pleasure. I'm very because that was the one. This was the one I was having trouble deciding on.
Okay. Wow.
My last one was going to be Bram Stoker's Dracula. So like that's that was the one I was like, we're definitely covering that. So like the fact that you picked it, just huge for me. But yeah. So next week,
meant
Bram
to be
Stoker's Dracula, and
covered.
if you've never watched it, you obviously can tell I like it. So we're you ought to go ahead and check it out. But yeah. We will be back next week with Bram Stoker's Dracula, baby. And with that, I was Colton Robertson, and I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, now imagine right now I'm doing the most inhuman screech you can possibly imagine. That's going to be my quote for the end of the